feeling under pressure. Feeling under pressure. Pressure. Feeling
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Valorant Challenger South Asia. Of course, this entire pregame segment is brought to you guys by Hyundai. I'm going to be your host and caster, Necro John. Alongside with me is Crips. And Crips, again, it's my first time alongside you, man. I'm feeling absolutely pumped up. How are you feeling, my boy?
Oh, I am feeling pumped up too, dude. I have been waiting for this tournament to begin since so long, and the energy that's been building up inside of me, it can literally cause someone to melt if I was to channel it onto some living being. That being said, I'm going to devote all my energy to this broadcast. We're going to start off with a banger.
Oh yeah, we're going to start off with a banger. Of course, the opening matchup's going to be between OG and Lethal Esports. We know both these teams are absolute immaculate with how they've been looking like. And of course, we've got some international players too inside the teams. So considering we've got some international players now inside a lot of Indian rosters, of course, Lethal Esports isn't one of those teams that has any international players. But what are your thoughts about OG and their Filipino players?
Oh, it's amazing. So we've already seen Tesseract in action over the course of the off-season last year. Aziz, even though he's somewhat of a new addition to the team, they've had plenty of time to practice. So I don't think it's going to be difficult for them to gel up at all. That being said, there is a slight change for the side of OG today. Usually RVK is supposed to be playing for the team, but RVK unfortunately has an ear infection, and that means he will not be available to play today. So we wish RVK a speedy recovery, but while he's gone, Levi will be replacing him for the time being.
Oh, and I really hope that Levi has also had enough amount of time to practice with the team. But on the other hand, you've also got their counterparts where you've got Lethal Esports coming in. Now, Marzil, again, he's another one of those players that has had quite a lot of fingers raised in the past onto himself. So do you think he's going to have a complete new phase, a complete new transformation inside this tournament?
Oh, absolutely. Marzel has always been one of those players who's super aggressive regardless of the game, regardless of the game he plays. And now, if I'm not wrong, he's going to be handling the IGL duties as well. So you can basically imagine what this man will be like as an IGL, because he's the man who always tries to slip into the gaps and tries to create a wedge in the other team. His teammates are going to be setting him up for success. So this man is the guy who leads by example, and that's why Lethal also, as the name suggests, are a pretty lethal team. But that being said, Lethal is also one of those teams who does not have an import. Almost every single player in the South Asia League has at least one or two non-South Asian players. You know, they have someone from Southeast Asia, they've got Europeans, Australians, people from all over the world are participating in this league as well, except in Lethal's team. So that's going to be quite exciting.
It's going to be quite exciting. For now, we're going to be locked in inside the walk-ins. Ladies and gentlemen, keep this thing in mind. These teams have went through a complete transformation, a complete phase of metamorphosis, and now they're back on the biggest stage South Asia's ever seen. As you can see, the two players are already back here, and there's also a nice Hyundai i20, which everyone's eyeing out for. But this walk-in is looking quite sick, huh?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that nobody has tried to trash talk each other yet. We know that all these players are fierce, and there you go, finally it's Roffuel showing us the gun. Meanwhile, Shivi being an absolute gentleman, bowing down to us. That's amazing. A good guy.
Again, as I said, it's going to be the biggest stage South Asia's ever seen, so there's going to be a lot of jitters too. And to face those jitters, of course, they are one of the most well-known players. They have been on these type of stage in the past too, but this might just be the jitters that they must have faced for the first time. So let's see how they're going to be dealing it out. As you said, Lethal Esports is an all-Indian player team. On the other hand, they've got some international players in the team as well, so that can also make a huge impact on the mental side.
Yeah, and with all these players hailing from basically the same city, most of the members of Lethal Esports hail from Bangalore, and they've played with each other since a few years now. So their synergy is obviously on point. And in fact, Lethal Esports had a good start to 2023. They participated in one LAN tournament at the very beginning of the year on 3rd January, and they made it to the finals of that tournament with only a few weeks of practice. And now that they've had some months to prepare and get better, I'm pretty sure that Lethal Esports are going to be feeling themselves.
I'm really eyeing out for the map veto though, because I feel like that's something that can add a lot of new things, especially considering new map Lotus. I want to see how these Indian teams are going to be playing it out on Lotus, because sometimes it seems like an attacker side of maps, but if you do have the perfect defenders, especially the Harbor Viper combination, it's one of the most deadliest combos if used correctly.
Exactly, and it's not just the Harbor Viper. A lot of people are also going for the Fade and Raze combination. One clears it, the other one evaporates it. And that's the best part about a map like Lotus. I thought that VCT lock-in would let us have a fixed meta on the Lotus map, or I don't know, maybe that tournament would have been enough for everyone to figure out what's the deal with this one. But there is still no meta in Lotus. There's no one best way to play this game. And we're not going to be worried about it because it won't be picked up by either of these teams.
I mean, the map veto is right in front of us, and as you can see, OG's map select. Let's see what they're going to pick over here. As we do know, one thing is for sure, that both these teams do not have enough amount of research onto each other. So there's going to be a lot of question marks from all the sides. Even we're having huge question marks. We don't exactly know how the playstyle is going to look like from this team. But OG, one thing's for sure, they're having a stacked lineup. As you said, unfortunately, because of an ear infection, RVK cannot play inside this one. So that might just be something that might hinder their performance, but only time will tell how OG is going to play this one.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how Levi fits into the team. Here's a fun fact. Levi did play in the open qualifiers of Valorant South Asia League. He tried to make his own team. Now, they did make it into like the top 4, but they weren't able to, finish what they started. And after that, the team did go their separate ways. You have Levi, who entered Orangutan, Wimp entered True Rippers Esports, and even DC Rules went to another team. So that team did get split up after they managed to get a high placement in the open qualifiers of Valorant Challenger League South Asia qualifiers, and now they're here. different teams,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. The map veto as well is quite interesting now, as we have seen the decider is going to be played on scent. So we aren't really seeing a lot of experiments done. Every single team wants to stick to their comfort zone. They're going to play the maps that they have experiences on. But as I said, we don't know. We do not have a single piece of information what the agent select's also going to look like. And we're talking about the agent select. We're just going to get right into it. As you said, Levi is going to be here. So I want to see what type of role Levi is going to play.
If he's replacing RVK, then he's gonna stick to either one of the Vipers. I mean, there's no Viper on Haven. Most of the players don't go for it. But he's most likely gonna be sticking to the controller role, which is what he selects. But it's an Astra. I would have expected something else, but hey, even the Astra will work wonders. Lucia, on the other hand, has picked up an Omen. So there you have it.
Ooh, so... Alright, so listen, we are just really seeing a lot of experimental plays here. Some basic, I would say, agent selects. You've got the Breach on the side of Lethal, and you've got, of course, the Sentinel coming into Controller. So nothing much. 2 Initiator, 1 Controller, 1 Sentinel from the side of Lethal. On the other hand, one Sentinel, and, okay, 2 Initiators as always, and 1 Controller. So pretty much the similar type of roles, but we're seeing little changes inside the Initiators and the Controllers. I want to see how this type of agent select's gonna make any type of impact inside the game. But before we talk about anything, it seems like the matchup spot to start soon as well. You saw the players, they're locked in. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first match off the VCS starting right in front of you guys. And of course, we're gonna kick things off with the pistol round.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have Lethal Esports starting on defense. The roster for, the agent composition have 3 similar agents on either side. The primary difference being we have Breach on Shivi and we have Sky on Aziz. Those will be the primary differentiators, and of course there's a difference in the controller. Other than that, most of the composition remains the same for either of these teams. We have $140,000 on stake here, ladies and gentlemen, and of course the bigger prize here being the winner of this tournament gets to represent the country in the Ascension League. Of course, Ascension something we'll be tackling after a couple of months, but for now these teams are about to tackle each other head on. Let's get this started.
The pistol round's beginning over here, and as you see, Kel'Thuzad's being quite aggressive inside the underpass area. Dashes out of that one quickly. Tesseract's there to try and drone it out. Now again, it's going to be a quick A hit from the side of OG.
Oh no!
He spotted out Marzil. Marzil's not going to be able to stay alive for longer. Oh, could have been a little problematic, that one. But Marzil falls down. Rawfield's able to find the opening. That means the entire A site control now is in the hands of OG. They're going to be quite happy, quite satisfied with this take, but the retake's going to be quite difficult. No one lurking around. Every single player is playing on the post plant from the side of OG. To get this retake down, again, as I said, it's going to be quite tough. Got quite a lot of utilities flowing on their way. So was Recon Dart was there too, but just waiting for it to fade away.
Yeah, and Lethal Esports have no opening. In fact, Orangutan were playing in such a disciplined fashion, everybody holding the crossfires, and now that there's only one player left in form of Shivi, everyone decides to peek him together. He stands no chance. A flawless opening for Orangutan to start off this game. It's quite interesting how we had Kel'Thuzad trying to aggress in towards the A-short region, and there was a fault line to assist him as well. Now, Lethal Esports had all the information required to make the rotations happen, but they were just not able to do it quickly enough, and by the time the backup arrived, the cavalry was here, Kel'Thuzad and the SOA were already dead. That means it's an instant 3v5, and Orangutan, even in post-months, despite having the man advantage, they did not do anything to give it away. They did not peek individually or do anything that would discard this advantage. Really good discipline from them.
One player spotted out near garage. Tesseract wants to be a little aggressive, but if he gets a little further, will be greeted by Shorty. Patience has to pay off here. Lethal Esports, on the other hand, they have got some guns that might just make a little dent on OG's round. OG, of course, they have kicked things off on a great note with the pistol round, so they are currently inside the driver's seat. But it really does come down to this round. If this round stolen away by the players of Lethal, then it can be a completely new thing. And it seems like everyone's just stacking outside C. The Shorty will be able to greet someone, but no, this time it's going to be the Trailblazer set first. Lucia, unfortunately, didn't expect that. Gets caught by the Trailblazer, instantly followed up with a trade. Well take from the side of OG.
Yeah, and the plant also will go down without any hiccups. Rossi on the backstab will be intercepted. And this seems like yet another cleanup round for Orangutan. Unless Raw Fuel goes in way too aggressively and ends up giving away his gun, I don't think that Lethal can do much. And there's no way you can take this man down. Trades come through.
Yeah.
Marzel doesn't even get to pick up the Spectre that was fallen over there. He gets sucked into the gravity well. And on paper, it looks like Orangutan have this in the bag. But I have to point out one thing, now that we've got the time and it's clear that Orangutan will win. Lethal Esports were making some preemptive rotations, and they were making them very often. It started off with Lethal having 3 members towards A. Then they rotate preemptively. As soon as they figured out that Orangutan isn't coming here, they then had 3 members towards C. And that was correctly interpreted by the members of Lethal Esports. It just, for some reason, they decided to go against the 3-stack on C and have them go back to defaults, which is why when the Orangutan players actually started to hit the C side, there was only the Omen holding there with a shorty, so he couldn't do much. Poor Lucia had all the backup in the world until he did not.
Well, now they're going to play on the bonus round. Got enough amount of economy. On the other hand, they're going to face up against some Vandals and Phantoms. Lethal Esports have got Vandals and Phantoms on play. On the deck. Let's see what sort of an impact, what sort of a change we're going to see inside this round. Guns advantage is clearly in the hands of Lethal. But there's a huge chance the Spectre's in close range. They might just devastate. Lethal Esports. Antidote was able to sneak inside the B site, but knew he's just walking inside a trap. Decided to fall back instantly. And oh, this is an opening the players of OG needed. Aggressive Marzel just gave his frag away, and now that's a big opening too. But the trade's there. Shivy finds another one, so it's going to be an equalizer for now. It's a 3-on-4 situation in which Lethal Esports, of course, have the disadvantage, but retake's possible just because the gun's advantage.
Yeah. Poor Lethal Esports are getting toyed around. They had Antidote facing them on B, contact being made on Garage, and at the same time, you had Tesseract murdering people on A long. And if that's not enough to cause confusion, then this definitely is. That's the 3rd frag this man's accumulated in this round, and with so many frags going his way, he's just 1 away from farming up his ultimate, and now he's got it. 3 rounds in, and the Hunter's Fury is already on the cards.
Oh, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. OG, they're running away with a huge lead. They even took the bonus round in their hands. That means, once again, Lethal Esports being forced back to an eco.
Yeah.
The way the opening was found on B. I mean, yeah, Shiva was there to try and equalize things, but still, they had a man advantage in their hands and easily were able to close out the round. Again, these side takes are just so clean.
Yeah.
I understand Marzel is always that aggressive man, but sometimes you need to have that discipline.
No, actually, they haven't really been playing as aggressively as I thought they would be doing. Yes, Kel'Thuzad pushes every now and then. He did so in the pistol round, does it again. And even though it dies, it's fine because it's a pistol round anyway. But I love the fact that Lethal Esports are finally showing us some aggression. Up until now, we've only seen them push a shot, and that too when Kel'Thuzad had the dash available. As soon as he ran out of it, he fell back. And now look at this. You've got Shivy pushing up at the bottom of B window. He can hear almost everything that OG are doing from this point. And he's given the information to his teammate Vel, who's, you know, leaving C open and stacking up more defenders towards the A site, prepared for this incoming hit. But if Shivy is able to hear this, this would be crucial because he should know that Orangutan are now moving towards the C side, which is completely defenseless.
But again, keep this in mind. Even if they do have pistols in their hands, they have still invested a decent amount of money. They want to put a little dent on OG's economy here. They want to get as many bodies as possible, but so far they haven't gotten a single one. Kel'Thuzad has already fell down. Marzel's down to 5 HP, so you can't really expect a lot from that man. Of course, a little flank coming in from the side of Lethal Esports. Might just be a little late too. That recon dart's also going to give away their flank. It was sent there to get a little info, but Marzel realizes the fact that now the recon dart's giving away the flank, so might as well not be a good idea to flank from the back. They're still holding off. They're waiting for someone to walk into the crossfire, but it doesn't seem like the case. And Rafiel, as always, the aggressive man, goes further and gets greeted by Rossi. That's a great trade from his side. Has a Vandal in the hand. Maybe try to save over here, but no, instead commits. But it's taken down quite low. Rossi, is going to make the wise decision to save here. Shivy, on the other hand, wants to get as many frags as possible. He's not going to be able to do so. It gets traded out instantly. Still, they've got 3 players alive inside the round. OG, they're looking pretty good.
We are 4 rounds in, and up until now, Orangutan have already shown us that they do not like to commit off the bat. It was only the pistol round in which they went for the A take right off the bat. They waited like 20-30 seconds for some aggression, and then they headed towards the A side. In every other round, they've made noise towards the A lobby and then went back towards C. Sometimes they even have Antidote knock on the doors of B side and then fall back without spotting anyone. So Orangutan are playing it nice and slow, but the moment I say that, it seems like they're going to change up the pace. The shock darts to destroy the Killjoy utility, and there you have it. They tried to go for the plant, but the instant Hunter's Fury will deny that, at least for now. It buys Lethal a little bit more time.
It seems like the players of even Lethal Esports, they want to be really aggressive from A main. You've got Kel'Thuzad and Shivy just pushing right next to each other. Oh, the alarm bot's going to be taken care of. Antidote falls instantly, but the traits are there to follow it up. Tesseract finds 2. Rawfield's still pretty close, and he's going to find 1.
No
he goes
way.
for the second one as well. This man is just swinging him down. Bodies stacking up on top of each other. The B site's now looking like a graveyard. Marzul is there. The single man, the solo man on a mission is not going to be able to pull off anything. Marzul shut down. AZ's. OG, they're running away with a huge lead. 5-0 is the scoreline, and OG's looking unstoppable.
Yeah, and they're also looking unpredictable. I literally just said the words, OG like to play things slow based on the first 4 rounds, and the moment I say that, they go for a full-blown assault on the B side with everything at full speed. They have absolutely nothing to slow them down. Yes, the Hunter's Fury delayed them for like, what, 4 seconds, and then they were back on the plant regardless.
This is not good. Lethal Esports is being proven unparalleled. Still, though, if you look at the broader site, Kel'Thuzad's got a Blade Storm. Maybe he can try to go for some solo plays, because that's the only time they can try to rely on some sort of victorious moves.
They don't know Rawfield's here. Oh no!
Oh, Marzul! Not a move you want to pull off in that sort of scenario, but it's okay. Kel'Thuzad was there for a trade. Now they currently have a man advantage. Lethal Esports, they've got so close for this win. It's a chance. They might just be able to put a full stop to the momentum the players of OG have been able to build so far, but Antidote. Oh, this man is always just pushing limits.
Pushing limits, pushing people, and pushing their heads off of their shoulders as well. Effortlessly. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what Orangutan made us believe for the first 4 rounds, but now Rossi's looking to pick up the pace. Good burst onto Antidote. But do they have anything to block off this C-long area? No, they don't. There's nano swarms, gravity well being thrown at them. Everything except the kitchen sink is being dumped by Orangutan, hoping to keep them off the spike, and that is there. Rossi almost had the half defuse, but he was pulled off.
RVK, which is of course Levi. He's quite low, and he will close out the round. Doing pretty good for the team. RVK, which is of course Levi. His in-game name's RVK. Is playing on RVK's account.
Yeah, that's a public service announcement for all the viewers. You will see Levi on the HUD and on the camera. In the kill feed, you might see him with the name of RVK, but please don't panic. He is actually Levi.
Things are looking quite critical now. That's for sure. Lethal Esports, I thought that could have been a chance to stop the huge momentum OG has built, but now OG, as always, just stealing it away. Marzul, don't exactly know what was this move. I mean, that's a spot that I even try to play, but it's not that good, considering every single player now just checks that spot. It's a commonly checked spot now. And even the position that the player of OG was set up in, you could easily see the cape of Sova. So it's not a good spot to be in. It seems like we've got a tactical timeout too. Let's see what this sort of a timeout's going to bring inside the game, because again, Lethal Esports, is as we all know, they're getting rolled.
Yeah, so far Orangutan have had a lovely time. The only round in which they actually lost more than 3 players was this one. They almost had this round in the bag. Lethal almost pulled off the retake, but it's just at the last second they could have had the half defuse, but they were unsuccessful. Now, in this tactical timeout, I assume what Lethal will be discussing is where to aggress, because so far, Lethal has shown us quite a lot of presence towards a shot. Kel'Thuzad has been heading down that sewer almost every single round, but they haven't really shown us any aggression elsewhere on the map. Shivy did push towards the bottom of the B window once, But that was in an eco round, and he wasn't able to accomplish much with it. Let's see how else do Lethal Esports pick up the slack, because so far OG has absolutely no regret in dropping the pace, picking up it whenever they feel like it. And it's this variation in pace that's really messing with the heads of Lethal Esports.
Let's just focus on the positive points for now for Lethal. So they've got 2 positive points for them. They've got a lockdown available and a rolling thunder. And both of these abilities are quite good for a retake.
Yeah.
They can of course go for that, but no, you can't keep on dropping your bodies like that. Rossi goes out the game. That means now the lockdown's not available for them anymore. They've still got the rolling thunder up though. They can try to rely on that.
Yeah, but the bigger problems are every single member of Lethal Esports is playing by themselves, each of them marking a site.
Yeah.
So there's no trade potential. If any of them dies, they will basically be giving away their lives, and the best point for them would be to group up and stick together, even if that means they have to give up one of these sites.
Oh no, this is not good. 2 sites given away. Lethal Esports, yep, they're relying on this rolling thunder. They're gonna walk in with it too. Lucia.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, he doesn't find the player stunned, and he's gonna get greeted easily by the players of Lethal Esports. Shibby finds one, but
10 seconds left. Spike
he gets
planted.
straight out instantly. Marcel's there in the back. He's gonna find one more, but I'm not sure how much he's gonna be able to pull off here. But that's a great flash. Marzo flicks onto the target, but he gets eliminated instantly. Things are looking quite good. Levi's able to shut down these players, and we were doubting how Levi is going to be gelling up inside the team, and it seems like he's doing quite a decent job.
Yeah, he hasn't died a single time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Levi really gelling into the team. Plus, he's never really found himself in a situation which demands a lot from him, except for maybe that 1v1 where he was supposed to deny the spike plant. He's never been in that much trouble. Orangutan seem to be in so much control that even if they are playing defaults, it seems to be adequate enough. They've not had to pull out the secret strats that they have been planning. They haven't really needed to show us something new. Whatever they're doing is working so far, and finally Lethal Esports off to a good start. It seems like a decade since they've acquired the early man advantage, and Kel'Thuzad's already pushed up C-Long. This is good.
Nice.
Every time Kel'Thuzad went down a shot, he did not really find anything, but now with the C-Long push, he finds 2 kills. I mean, he gets 1, Marzel gets 1. And this is, I think, the first time Lethal Esports have a man advantage going into the round, before the first minute mark.
Trying to bring the element of surprise inside the game. Lethal Esports, a little change in the pace. OG, still just waiting. As always, as you said, they like to take their time before executing a site. Marcel's got a recon dart in the hand.
Yeah.
If he gets any sort of suspicion, he will instantly use that recon dart to get the information. Tesseract, though, is just walking on long. Now, there's a huge chance they might just peek out. The paranoia is being utilized as well. That means this is the time to call it back.
30 seconds
do
left.
not want to go on A site.
Yeah, and even if they go towards C, you have Kel'Thuzad ready to intercept. Antidote did show presence towards B a few seconds ago, and Shibby was marking the angle, but now he can't face all 3 of them at once. So he's gonna have to cut the plant. At least gets a kill before he falls back, so it's an easy 2v5. There should be an effortless retake from Lethal, unless something goes wrong.
This man is just being so sneaky. Kel'Thuzad right now has to be the MVP for this entire round. The way he's been able to sneak around, the way he's been able to lurk for his team. Found 2 crucial kills. And that's why Lethal Esports, now they've found themselves in a position to win. Of course, a flawless round to kick things off for them on the scoreline. It's a 7-1 scoreline. Still, nothing taken away. As we all know, OG, they're looking pretty good on the economical side, so it's not going to put any dent on the economy. On the other hand, though, this might just be a little breather for the side of Lethal.
Yeah. And right from the start of the round, even when Lethal did not have any kills, it seemed like they were in control because they had a good read. You see Marzel reconning at almost the same time as when someone's about to enter that particular area. You had Shivy, who used his fault line onto Antidote. Even when Antidote made absolutely no sound, did not reveal himself, it seemed like Shivy had a read on his position. And the moment they tried to hit the B side, Shivy called in the rotations, instantly got that kill, fell back too, and it was great. It felt like Lethal finally were able to utilize all the information that Orangutan was feeding them. Plus, Kel'Thuzad also switched up his position of aggression. Like some 5-6 rounds, he did not find anything towards A shot, so he's like, screw it, I'm just gonna go C long instead. And he did a wonderful job there.
Ken, I mean, it's really tough to find out what's going on wrong with Lethal Esports. I do understand a lot of mind games are being played from the side of OG.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But maybe we can give them a little bit of edge. We had a little conversation yesterday as well, considering you are going to be kicking things off. You are going to be playing the starter match. That means you might just have a little jitters.
Yeah.
That you would want to get away.
Yeah.
So maybe even if this first match gets out of hand, the second match is going to be quite a crucial one. We're going to be kicking things off on Fracture on the second map. So Fracture's needed desperately if Lethal loses this map. But again, the competition's still going on. 7-1's the scoreline. They can try to close things off in the first half. It's with 7-5, but so far, again, Lethal, they're struggling. Yeah, they won the previous round flawlessly, but nothing can be judged just behalf of that first round.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
The Killjoy setup has changed a little. They now have the Alarm Bot and the Nano Swarms on Garage. Before this, they were actually sending 2 players to play over here. And Kel'Thuzad, instant shot. Lovely frag as well, but Aziz unfortunately trades out Marzel. So it really puts them back to square one.
I've got your trail.
You can hear the drone. He wants to make a play before the drone tags him, and he does. Successful kill. Another one. But now he's all alone. He's got players flooding him. The Seekers, the Recon Darts, everything except the kitchen sink thrown at him. And Levi finally kills him. He gets a double. Levi tearing open a path for his team. Oh, this is incredible. Before the lockdown even had a chance to reach halfway point, not only was the Hunter's Fury thrown at it, but Orangutan basically leapt into the defender's spawn to kill their enemies.
That was such a flawless take on the site.
Yeah.
They realized, okay, one thing what I'm realizing over here, looking at Lethal Esports' gameplay, is that they're really relying on those aggressive plays. If they're able to find value from those aggressive plays, that's when they will have a little bit of mental edge, a little bit of confidence booster. If they're not able to find those early game values, then they're just going to completely drop down. Kel'Thuzad and Marzel, of course, were aggressive on the long. As you said, the trade was instantly being found. But look at this now. As these aggressive plays are being read by the players of OG, they're going to shut down both of them. Kel'Thuzad and Shivy goes down. Those are 2 crucial men for those retakes, and now they're not going to be inside the game anymore. Rossi is going to have a lot of things on his shoulder. Of course, Lucia also needs to stay alive for quite a long, of course, because this man is playing the controller role. Lucia on the backside, he knows the entire enemy team is just approaching him, and that was a huge whiff from Lucia. Oh no, you cannot afford to whiff shots like those when you are at such a crucial and critical scoreline.
Hey, but that's okay. They don't know where Mamatal's coming from. Nobody's marking this angle, and he should have at least 1 free kill.
Yep.
They're giving him 1v1s.
Yeah, no one's going to peek him out now. That's the problem, because they know Marzel has an op. Yeah, that's a good switch coming in from Marzel. But look at this flank. Marzel's not going to expect it. An easy cleanup. OG, always a step ahead.
Yeah. And I can understand why the Jet was giving Marzel that 1v1. They were just basically trying to keep his attention focused towards the side so that he wouldn't look back at the flank that Aziz was onto. But yeah, I mean, let's say in a world where Marzel does hit that shot, then he's in a 1v1 with Aziz, and things could have gone wrong. That being said, Orangutan, they switch up the pace really well. They started off slow, made contact towards B, and as soon as the body started to hit the floor, they just instantly went towards Garage, and nobody was prepared over there. And you could see how confused Rusty was in that situation, because even though he's supposed to look at Garage, he was very paranoid someone would hit him from the C-Link. Oh my god, look at that dash. They're already in the sight. A maze of Cloudburst, and Kel'Thuzad, he is lost. Rockman executes him. Marzel and Shivy doing a good job of holding people back. And this breach utility is actually keeping Orangutan at bay. But Tesseract is the one whom they need to be scared of. Rossi anticipated this push in the last round, but this time he predicts it properly. The FAMAS, it betrays him. The Bulldog is not enough to secure the kill, and everything that Lethal Esports had worked so hard to acquire is now lost.
Lethal Esports, they just dump all the utilities they have on this one. They knew it was a 1-on-2 situation against Shivy in a huge disadvantage. He also used his Rolling Thunder quite preemptively. So he's not going to have a lot of utility to follow it up. And yeah, it's just going to be easily cleaned up. Tesseract in a position where he wasn't expected. Another round on the hands of OG. Lethal aren't able to find any sort of counter on this map of Haven. It seems like OG are just going to run away with a win as well. It's 10-1 scoreline. One more round to go. That means 11-1 will be the half, and that's where the possibilities are going to start to close out for Lethal.
They need to win this last round anyhow. They've invested most of the cool ultimates they had, and now they are left with only the Omen ult. And in response to that, Orangutan have practically everything. They've got the Blade Storm, the Cosmic Divide, which I think Levi's been holding on to since the entire
Get out
half.
of
He's
my
just
way.
never found an opportunity to use it. And the lockdown for good measure in case something goes wrong.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
The round now begins. Final hope for the players of Lethal Esports to make it 10-2. Again, it's not going to make a huge impact on the second half. Of course, OG will still have the momentum in their favor. How OG's thinking over here. They've still got a man watching the flank, and oh, these are the type of picks you're not supposed to give Lethal. You cannot afford picks like those. Instantly utilizes the lockdown. Martian's still waiting for that shot. But what a shot! Rawfield shuts down the upper. That's a crucial player down on the site. Oh, big threat neutralized, and now OG, they're just going to have a smooth glide on the side as well. Lucia's going to be the man who will try to create a bit of problems, but
Spike planted.
not so much. They've got the side
are
control, even
divided.
the spikes planted. Paranoia might just be here. And oh, Lucia so unaware. The problem is, the surrounding awareness seems so lacking from the side of Lethal
Switching
Esports.
sides.
And that's going to be it for the first half, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be it for the first half. Lucia caught lacking twice in this entire half. He's died 2 times with a paranoia in hand. And it just seems so unfortunate that he finds himself in situations like these again and again. That being said, Orangutan have had so many different security policies on top of each other.
This life is real. Can't play pretend. Came off the bench. I get it in.
The all-new i20 Born Magnetic.
You're a dreamer, a doer, putting in the countless hours for that one victory. But to be you, you also need the beat in your step, the happiness in your voice, the art on your skin, and the energy from your surroundings. You need to be complete. Making dreams come true and memories happier.
The all-new i20 Born Magnetic.
Came for my wins. I need my hands. This life is real. Can't play pretend. Came off the bench. I get it in.
Say, of course, now we're going to be moving inside the second half, and now things are looking way too intense. I mean, not so much on the side of OG, but of course from their opponents, Lethal Esports. They're going to be sweating over here. As we do know, this is the first map of the entire VCSA, and pretty much you will also have the bragging rights if you're going to win this one. So for now, OG, they're just on a dominating streak, and imagine this, they're not even playing with their playing 5. RVK is not playing inside this. Imagine if RVK was over here, things could have been maybe different.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's one thing you gotta consider. And now that Lethal Esports are on the attacking side, they waste absolutely no time. Healing, concealing, smoked off. The Jet dashes in with the Cloud Burst, and Antidote still peeks beyond the dark cover to get a kill on TikTok Bazaar. That is a brave move. Regardless, the spike will be planted, so it's not a problem. Now, the big problem is, can Lethal Esports escape and fall back into safe post-plant positions? Nope, they will never be given the opportunity to do so. And Rossi's not in the position to shoot the diffuser.
Good shots coming out from Rossi, but he's the only man left alive. A lot of burden on his shoulders, and yeah, whiffs a couple of shots in the end. AZ's is not going to let him go like that. The punishment's there. OG to clean out the second half first round. And damn it.
Match point.
Might as well just conclude the results over here. Of course, it's going to be 4 Spy coming in from the side of Lethal Esports, as they did get the plant down and they have no other choice anyways because it's the last round of the game. And also the match point. 12-1 is the scoreline. Did you expect this sort of a steamroll?
Nope, I absolutely did not. I thought the very first game of the tournament would be a nail-biting game. It would be close. I might have even expected an overtime, but hey, life has funny ways of surprising us.
Oh boy. Levi's doing just fine inside the team. We had a lot of doubts. We had a lot of questions about Levi's performance coming in out of nowhere, of course. But he's doing a really great job. Of course, he was registered inside the top 6, but we don't exactly know if they've had enough time to play with Levi before now. I'm going to hold on to my words. Oh boy, OG, they're just stacking him up like it's nothing. But still, Kel'Thuzad might just have a critical position. But he's not able to pull off anything from that.
Last player standing.
Tesseract being the bodyguard. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is an effortless win from Orangutan. The first game of the day goes their way. Haven in the bag. Fracture up next. And Orangutan are off to a flying start.
I like how you said effortless win. And yeah, indeed it was an effortless win. OG just ran through like with a fluid flow. No one was there to stop them. 12-1 was the half. And on the second half, of course, they got the 12th round. But that's a huge statement. 13-1 defeat to Lethal Esports. And this is where the team of Lethal Esports now should start doubting themselves, because they are up for a show. And I'm pretty sure they did not expect to get dominated like this.
I think it's just the first day jitters. They didn't expect the amount of variation that Orangutan will bring to the pace of the game. And with Fracture being next, a map that is heavily dependent on pace, I think it's going to be a banger of a game. Maybe Lethal Esports can mount a comeback in the next one.
Hey, we'll be able to mount a comeback or not? Well, you guys will be able to find that out after this short break.
Can't for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
The happiness in your voice. The art on your skin. And the energy from your surroundings. You need to be complete. Making dreams come true and memories happier. You're a dreamer, a doer, putting in the countless hours for that one victory. But to be you, you also need the beat in your step, the happiness in your voice, the art on your skin, and the energy from your surroundings. You need to be complete. Making dreams come true and memories happier.
I know my destiny.
Feeling under pressure. Pressure. Feeling under. Feeling under pressure. Pressure. Feeling under.
Can't for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Once again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Valorant Challenger South Asia. And also, I would like to give a huge shout out to our styling partner, which is going to be Philips OneBlade. And we all know, just like the winning team, Philips OneBlade is here to give you guys quite a quick and a nice little look for your faces. But Crips, as we do know, the first map was a complete steamroll. That means now the second map's going to be played on Fracture. So what are your thoughts on that? We know Fracture is a map that really heavily rewards aggression. So maybe there's a chance Lethal Esports will get their, you know, little stuff back, or what do you think?
Yeah, in fact, aggression is the only way Lethal Esports can save themselves. The one round in which they were able to win, that was partially because Kel'Thuzad had pushed down C long. And that push from C long happened after he was unsuccessfully pushing A shot for like 4 or 5 rounds in a row. So you see, Orangutan were winning quite a lot because of the variation in their pace. But the moment Lethal Esports switched up their pace, the moment they decided to go up with the aggression, they were able to chain rounds together. Now, if that logic is applied in Fracture as well, then aggression can save Lethal Esports, and maybe we get to see a map number 3 as well. That being said, let's jump into the agent selection.
What's going on with Antidote? Why does he have his hands on his face? I mean, things are going good for you, OGs. You guys don't really need to worry a lot. But still, maybe he's just getting his mind refreshed, as we do have the agent select on our screen. Rafi on the Jet. Levi is going to be going with Brimstone this time. Tesseract with the Cypher. Alright, so interesting map selects coming in. But this time on Fracture, we're going to have a double duelist composition from OG. On the other hand, a single duelist. Of course, Neon's going to be played by the side of Kel'Thuzad. And interesting selections coming out. I've always felt like on Fracture, personally, Cypher's way better than KJ. There are certain reasons. I will try to mention them inside the game. But what do you think, Crips, looking at this entire agent select?
The fact that they have 2 duelists, 2 agents that can cover distance really quickly, it's gonna be difficult for Lethal Esports on the defensive side, because they can easily get overwhelmed with numbers. And we saw in Haven as well that Lethal was struggling a bit to get their rotations in the right place at the right time. Like, Lethal had the right read, but they just failed to act upon it in time, and that's partially because rotations were late. And that's going to be a bigger problem if Orangutan can pick up the pace like that, especially with Rafiel and Aziz moving at lightning fast speeds. But that being said, just like OG, you too, with your double duelist composition, can move fearlessly with our styling partner Philips One Blade. It has dual protection technology, so you don't get nicks or cuts, and you know, so that you don't get caught with a flash in your hand.
Again, ladies and gentlemen,
Right here.
as Chris mentioned, a huge shout out to our sponsors, Philips One Blade. Thank you so much for bringing this thing on our desks. But as you do see, the pistol rounds already started, and there are a couple of trades happening right out of the way.
Worthless.
They've got the side control in
Spike
the hands
planted.
so far, but OG, they're trying to fight back. Currently, things are looking quite critical on their side. And side control in the hand, Lethal Esports. Things aren't looking that much in their favor. If this retake's possible, the enemy team's gonna have to piss around in the hands, and things might just be a little different.
Last player standing.
That's a great pistol round, yeah?
Spike's dead.
So,
You're welcome.
Quite a
I
good
mean,
one.
a quick retake, as always. Clean stuff coming in from the side of OG. As expected.
I like how Orangutan started off aggressively, throwing their flashes down B main, and in order to just maintain that stance over there, you even had Lethal throw in their counter flashes all the way from
Last player
attacking
standing.
spawn towards B main. And ideally that would have been enough to sustain, sorry, not sustain, it would have been enough to hold back the OG aggression, but then the A main push also came in from OG, which basically sandwiched all the Lethal people who are standing on the attacking spawn. They had good positions overall, but because they got picked from both sides, simply had no choice but to dive into the side when they were not even prepared for it. And they got mowed on the way inside.
Go,
As
go,
always,
go.
Lethal Esports just taking an aggressive approach now.
Spike down B.
Find entry on the site. Oh, these are nice picks coming out from the side of Levi.
One enemy
Keep on
remaining.
falling down like that to Levi. But eventually, there's the full stop coming in from Lucia. He's able to step things up. Now it's a 3-on-1 situation. AZ's, he knows that some opponents are quite hurt. There is still a
Go,
chance to make
take
this a win.
Watch
Convert
out,
this
go,
into
go.
a win.
Spike planted.
Utilizes his
This
stun,
way.
playing it quite aggressive too.
One enemy
He's
remaining.
looking to take the heels right on the faces, and he clutches it out. OG, they keep their flags high in the sky, and god damn it, AZ's, how is he able to pull it off like that? This man is an absolute beast.
So methodical in the 1v2. He knew exactly
Spike
where his
down,
opponents
B.
were, and that's information that his teammates provided. So what he does is uses the relay pole to make sure he doesn't get
Go,
double peeked,
take this.
and then he uses his firewall to just basically lock one person out. Lucia was already low on HP, so Kel'Thuzad had no option but to swing through that wall without knowing where his enemy would be, and he was able to isolate those 1v1s. Amazing 1v3 by Aziz, and he was just fed all these kills.
2-0 is the score line. And it seems like OG are anyways going to play on the bonus. They're not going to go for a full buy.
this.
Spotted out. Good stuff.
No way.
But it doesn't matter. Rossi is quick on the peak.
Where is everyone?
Nice little haircut to his opponent. Easy shutdown. And look at this. And yes, still somehow Lethal Esports, they're able to find their way inside the set. They're not able to control the site in the post-plant scenario. They're always failing over there. But look at this plant coming in from the side of Monzo. This might just be a
One
huge
enemy
play,
remaining.
as he will probably be able to shut down
Spike
one
planted.
player. And yes, he does. Rafiel's taken down. And he still has Tesseract to go. It's a 1-on-2 situation. A lot of stuff, a lot of burden right now is on Marzo. And if he gets taken down here, Tesseract will have this round pretty much served on a silver platter to him.
Marzel's playing all the way back towards defense.
One
He
enemy
needs to hurry
remaining.
up now. Tesseract's already executed Lucia, and Marzel is in no position to stop this defuse. No, he did not even have the fragment. There was no way he would have been able to stop this one. My goodness. Orangutans are clutching up every single round. Somehow, Lethal Esports, despite the weaponry lacking, they are able to find their way into the site. They're also able to find the man advantage going into the retake situation, but then they always lose out in these clutches. It was Aziz in the second round, and now it's Tesseract. The imports clutching up for Orangutan.
One thing I'm going to say here, And that is that currently Lethal Esports, they're just being proven unparalleled. Orangutan, in every single step, in every single way, they're just being proven better. And now they're also going to have the Vandals and Phantoms in place, so hopefully this is where we might just see Lethal Esports trying to put a full stop. Nice shot from Marzil. Position compromised and AZ's instantly shut down. And OG then, now pushing up. It's going to be a little too prim. It's going to be a little invitation for their deaths. So might as well play things a little safe now. They've got
This
the man
was the
advantage.
first.
Yeah.
This was the first time that Orangutan tried to have some aggressive play towards the arcade region, and they were punished for it instantly. At least with this push, Orangutan now know what the default of Lethal Esports look like. Maybe they can use this info in the next round.
So this is huge. They've got Levi on the flank, and there's 3 players near Dish. Luckily enough, Marzo's watching the flank. So that's something that might just catch the flank.
One enemy remaining.
Nice start to this round. And they're able to capitalize this. Now it's a bit on 4. And it seems like Antidote's not going to be able to do anything. Too many players in the front. And Marzil will outnumber his opponents. That was a good flank catch from the side of Marzil. I love it.
Yeah, and you have to notice the similarities between the pistol round and this round. You see, in the pistol round, Orangutan tried something similar. They had a 2-pronged aggression, one towards B main and one towards A main, which basically pinched Lethal Esports in the attacking spawn. They tried something similar this time around, except that pinch was supposed to be towards the A dish region and A main. Now, this would have worked out for Orangutan well if that arcade push was a little over encumbered, but Lethal Esports really decided to just put a hold on their aggression, hold it back for a second, and it gave them the advantage they needed. Seems like Lethal's finally adapting to the variation of pace that Orangutan threw at them in the previous game in Haven. But will that be enough though, because Lethal still have a decent amount of rounds to climb and catch up with.
OG's got 2 ultimates available. Orbital Strike and Neural Theft. I don't think so they're going to invest any of those, considering it is a eco round for them. Tesseract's got a Phantom in the hand. Still, they wouldn't want to rely a lot on that Phantom. It's going to be tough to find some kills with that. Lethal Esports just sneaking in from teammate. Find their way towards the B side, and easily they will be able to do so, but Tesseract with a crucial frag. He's able to shut down at least the opening right there. Also goes down another one. How is he able to pull this off? Now he utilizes his ability. His ult, Neural Theft out. Every single player's position given away. AZ's with the flank catches another one. Kel'Thuzad will have a lot on his shoulder, and he's not going to be able to capitalize. Kel'Thuzad gets shut down. Raw Fuel is the man to watch out again inside this competition. Oh my god. OG, how were they able to pull it off? The Cypher setup is just so good on B.
Exactly, and you can see the smile on Antidote's face. That smug grin tells you everything you need to know, that Orangutan are basically looking to push and pull Lethal Esports in different directions, like a bunch of barbarians who just hold onto your limbs and just pull them out, like in those ancient ways. That's what OG is doing right now. They disrespected the Lethal Esports utility. They play with the timings, and they pull off this eco in such a successful fashion. Lethal Esports are left scratching their heads. Hopefully they won't need to address the injuries soon enough. Hopefully they won't find themselves licking their wounds and falling back.
Go, go, go.
The one round that Lethal was able to win is when they predicted when OG would push, when they were able to predict the timing. And this time, OG threw logic out of the window to push in the most absurd ways possible that would have thrown even us, as people who have access to X-rays and the minimap, it would have thrown us off guard, let alone Lethal Esports. Null command activated. Kel'Thuzad ignores the utility, gets trapped in the trap fire, and Levi is able to kill him even without having a line of sight. Aziz looking to look good, and this is a nice shot. But now he's trapped in tower all by himself. He needs backup, and backup is on its way in the form of Tesseract, but they are gonna get intercepted. Lucia had no idea that someone else also would peek through that smoke. And this is something we've seen before.
Only man left alive is going to be Marcel. And Levi's going to shut every single man down with a 3K to close out the round. Levi, a crucial member to shut the previous round down. What a way OG is able to find all the time these counters to their pushes. OG is like a kryptonite right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kryptonite specifically for this poor guy called Lucia, because his utility is being disrespected so hard. He puts down the smokes, and what do Orangutan do? They shoot down the Lethal Esports members when they get trapped in those cypher cages and in the trap fires. And sometimes they straight up ignore the smoke, peek out of it when they think the timing is right, along with one flash, and it works out for them.
Lethal Esports need to expect those aggressive plays, especially in the mid-round. Not really able to get those read right. That's one of the problems here. And now again, Lethal Esports, unfortunately enough, they're also back on an eco. Sheriffs and Spectres on the play, and whoa, even that's a nice little trade coming in. Even though if Marzo's down to 1 HP, he's still able to take his opponent down quite low. Tesseract's only on 5 HP. Still, nothing can be said inside this round. Oh, shots missed, but eventually, Aziz connects those. And how is he making this look so easy with a 3K Aziz? Able to shut every single man down on that push, and a flawless round from OG once again.
Amazing stuff, and you can see how prepared Antidote was. The moment Shivi let his flash go and Kel'Thuzad was moving in, a counter flash came in from Antidote, and Aziz got the 2 easiest kills of his life. It looked a little labored at first, but then he doubled up in such style.
Speak of the style, they still haven't used that orbital strike. Still got it in the bag. Because they haven't really got the chance to use it. One of the setups that I remember still in the finals, or was it? No, it wasn't in the finals of the lock-in. I saw it was against Na'Vi that the players of Fnatic used. They were playing on the turret contact on A main. As soon as they hurt the turret, use the orbital strike, every single player suppressed down. The breach was there too. Use the breach stun, orbital strike, they're screwed. Nothing could be done. Again, we don't really... Yeah.
We might get to see something like that again, right? I'm not sure if it was Furia or if it was Leviathan. It was definitely a South American team who did this. What they would essentially do is, while they're on the attacking spawn right outside of A main, they have this fade... they threw this piece of fade utility. It holds the players in, and then they just use the orbital strike on that location, right outside the doorway of A main.
And look at this, guys. The OG watch party. Every single OG member, the organization members, just sitting down, having a good time watching the matchups. They know this matchup's being served to them in a silver platter. The players don't even need a sweat, and now they know they're also being broadcasted live, so they're just dancing around. Of course, the hype is needed, guys. Hype it up, even in the chat for OG. Every single fanboy that OG has, they're going to have a huge smirk, huge smile on their faces, and it makes a lot of sense, too. Why not, when your team is doing this good inside the tournament? The efforts are paying off.
You can even see RVK just sitting over there in the center of the sofa, having a good time, realizing that his team is doing well. I'm assuming that every time someone needs to sit a game out, whether it's because of an injury or a sickness or whatever, you're always worried, right? Oh, will my team be able to play without me? Will they be able to handle this? And then they see Levi just chilling, having a good time, and he's fitting in well. So RVK lets out a sigh of relief. And yeah, of course, the energy in that OG watch party has to be unparalleled. These guys are the loudest in any LAN. You go to any LAN event where OG is playing, and these guys will be screaming, chanting, who, all the time. And it makes for a wonderful environment.
I mean, I'm looking forward to be in one of those watch parties, man. It sounds pretty fun. I haven't really been in any sort of watch parties, honestly, in my past, in my entire career. So I'd be down to be in one of those watch parties. But for now, we're over here in a cast. And it seems like there is a little issue going on, as we did see the little League Ops member going to the PC. So there might just be a little bit of technical issues. But this gives us a little time to talk about each other, you know, and also the teams. Now, considering Lethal Esports getting dominated, they're getting decimated like this. They're getting picked apart.
But they're still smiling. So I guess at least their mental fortitude is strong enough. As long as that thing is in place, they can always bounce back.
And it seems like they're also sweating quite a bit. You saw a little bit of sparkles on his head because of the light, of course, glowing. But they're definitely sweating. And yeah, it is a time to sweat, that's for sure. But as you said, they're at least enjoying the time. They're enjoying their time. They're having a good time playing over here. And if you're not going to have a good time, then the chances of you winning are going to be quite low too. But the good thing is that Lethal Esports are having a good time being in here.
Yeah.
And as we all know,
I'm not sure if Lucia is having a good time. And yes, he's smiling, but he has been in quite a lot of trouble, even in Haven. You see, on Haven, he got caught like some 3 times with a paranoia in hand, and he was shot down when he had that in hand. In this map, his smokes are being disrespected by the members of OG because they're just literally coming out of the smoke. They throw a flash and they just peek out of the smoke. They catch everybody on Lethal Esports off guard. So that is a problem.
Lucia is literally Victor in lock-in. Victor had one of the most unfortunate tournaments that was lock-in. I was watching that man, and he was getting picked off from some of the most interesting angles I've ever seen, and some of the most unfortunate timings I've ever seen. So he's currently being Victor inside this tournament, and I'm pretty sure Victor didn't have a good time as well inside lock-in because, yeah, a lot of people said that he was getting super unfortunate with those. But it's fun, you know. Luck can play a huge factor sometimes inside esports.
Yeah.
And Antonio, finally this man is smiling. Finally I saw a little smile on his face because he was serious all the time.
It's good to see that everyone over here is smiling, actually.
Yeah.
Which is good, right? Because unlike Victor, who had like 1 chance in lock-in, if they lose the game, they're out. At least this is a whole league, so even if you lose this particular game, you still have several other matches to make up for it.
This gives us enough time to talk about what exactly is happening in Game 2. So, again, we know one thing is that Lethal Esports, they're quite aggressive. I like the aggressive approach.
Yeah. That's something they needed in Haven too.
Yeah, but the problem is that with the aggressive approach, Lethal Esports is expecting that maybe Orangutan will respect them and fall back. But no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's like fire to fire. They're bringing fire to fire inside the game. If you're going to be aggressive, we're going to be aggressive on the defensive side too. And I'm loving it. We're up for a show. And so far, it has been a great game being presented from both sides. Lethal Esports, unfortunately, no matter what they're doing, things aren't working out. And look at this. A little selfie.
Yeah.
With the Cypher Cam. Nice. Having a good time.
I have a confession. I've never done that. I've never had that Cypher selfie moment. Ooh. Not even once.
I had it once. So me and my friends were just playing in a custom lobby, and we're like, you know what, guys? Let's just take a nice little click with the Cypher camera, a nice little selfie, and could be a nice little YouTube thumbnail as well.
Unfortunately, my friends are a little too sweaty for that. Ooh. They would never spend time, taking photos. They're just like, all right, guys, next round we do this, we do that. So they're a little sweaty that way.
To be honest, I'm quite sweaty too, especially on my streams.
There you have it. Why can't I find chill people to play with?
No, listen, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to the competitive in nature, it's just in me, dude. And if you ever stop by on my streams, you would just 90% of the times you'd find me just raging and yelling, because I'm a competitive player and I want to be the best at what I'm doing. That's just the mentality is. I mean, I know now I'm a caster, I'm not supposed to have that mentality anyways, but it's just like when you're inside the zone, you can't help it. Today I think that, okay guys, I'm gonna chill out, I'm not gonna try that hard, but once I start playing, I'm automatically finding myself in a stage where I'm just trying hard.
And yeah, that's partially why I have never played with you before.
Oh, now I want to play with you. It can be a good time.
For you, maybe? Yeah, I'm not sure how that will fare out for me. Anyway, good times over here in the tournament as well. It's kind of interesting how Orangutan are being even more variable here than they were in Haven. At least in Haven, there were like some 4 or 5 rounds which panned out in a similar way, where they would start on the A lobby side, and then they show a little presence towards Garage, then head back towards the A side. And when that did not happen, they went from A lobby to C directly, right? Over here, though, I mean, it could be partially because they're starting on the CT side, but they have shown so many different ways of attacking. They sometimes crunch A main plus B main, sometimes they take arcade fights, sometimes they don't pick up any fights towards the A side at all. Sometimes they just let it go for retake. Same goes with B side. The Cypher traps are just helping them out way too much.
technical timeout still exists, and we're still trying to figure out what the exact issue is. Ooh, I love the mouse pads, especially Antidotes. It's got a cool little graphic on it. But yeah, getting back to what you were trying to say. So also, I forgot to mention why I like Cypher more on the map of Fracture. So one thing is that all you need to do with Cypher, it's that we all know Cypher's traps pretty much have unlimited range. You can just set the traps on one side and go and try to defend the other side. That's one of the best things, and that's why I feel like Killjoy players get limited a little bit too much, because once you're playing Killjoy, you cannot be the first one to rotate. You need to always be the last man to rotate, because you never know when a little lurk is coming in from the back lines and when a little fake is coming in. So with Killjoy, you need to be just posted, anchoring down that site. But with Cypher, you can have a lot more fluidity.
Yeah, sure, you can anchor better with Killjoy. Cypher lets you have that flexibility and everything, but the problem with both of these is that you are still waiting for the enemy team to move in. You can't set your teammates up for an aggressive push like that. And even when you anchor, there's only certain spots that you can hold. Like, let's say for example, if you are on the B side and you're holding tower, you can never hold it alone. You almost always need someone to help you out, because that is one place where you can get stuck super easily. So you either anchor it and hope that your teammates are able to back you up from CT spawn or from canteen or whatever. But if you're stuck alone over there, then you better pray that you can hit every single shot. That being said, sometimes I've seen teams, especially in lock-in, they would just completely ignore the tower region. And they would not have anyone play there at all. They would just hold either canteen or generator, and then they would try to make the same contact plays that that Orangutan are making right now. Flash out of the smoke, and then they try to hit someone as the attacking team is taking the site. And if they are indeed holding from the actual site, if they're anchoring, then they would have at least 2 or 3 people playing towards tower, which then becomes like your default.
And I've seen one thing is that tower control gets quite crucial, especially when you're trying to execute the B site. And usually tower's control is taken by the players who are executing arcade. Because once you have the arcade control, there's a high chance usually 2 players try to take the arcade control, and the rest 3 are usually on the B main side. Once you do get the tower control, then the site takes get way too easy once you have the tower control, because of course you have the high ground advantage and you will have a lot more info to work with. And the vital information can prove out to be so good that maybe in the post plants too, you will have a lot of map control. But for now, it's not this tech pause. As we do know, the scoreline currently is paused at 1-6 in the favor of OG. Lethal Esports, they're not able to find any sort of counter to the place that OG is able to be put up in front of them.
Yeah. And we've already pointed out the in-game reasons for why OG has the success in both Haven and Fracture. Let's talk about the outside of game reasons.
Kid for my weed, I need my head. This life is real. Kid for my weed, I need my head. This life is real. Can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
feeling under pressure. Pressure. Feeling under. Feeling under pressure. Pressure. Feeling under. Feeling under pressure.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
And we're back once again inside the game. The game's being resumed as the scoreline was 6-1. We had a little bit of technical issues going on, but finally it's resorted out. And now we're going to have the game going on. Crips, welcome back once again, bud.
Oh, and Rawfield's about to welcome Kildazar into his crosshair. Dodges all the utility. Even the orbital strike has been committed to keep the members of the Esports at bay, and they will gladly stop in their tracks. In fact, the spike has fallen all the way back outside of A main, and now they're ready to take contact towards Arcade as well.
They've got the arcade control so far. Still yet to get the side control. There isn't anything set up on the B side, so it's going to be an easy flow for them. Lethal Esports, they're not going to have any sort of problems occurring to them anytime soon. It is an easy flow on the site, and yeah, the spike should go down soon enough. Shivi's the one who wields the spike in his hands.
Spike planted.
Rawfield's operators needs to strike here, needs to get some sort of value. Gets blinded by the flash. Nice flash coming in. Another stun to follow it up, and OG, now there seems like they're getting punched through there. Nice orbital strike. Rossi follows it up with
Last player standing.
He's in quite a critical spot, but he's the only man left alive. He's not going to be able to find a lot. Finds one, gets to traded out. OG. It seems like finally Lethal Esport is able to find a little kryptonite to the way OG's playing against them.
Yeah, and that kryptonite is a very fast adjustment. As soon as they realize where the AWPer is, and now that they've already figured out that the Brimstone's close enough to put them that orbital strike, Lethal Esports could figure out that A side is heavily defended, and hence they went towards Arcade. Instantly smoke it and cross towards the site. And in case something went wrong, you had all the cool positions being held in post plans, and a second orbital strike on top of it to just add a little insult to injury. Lethal Esports taking absolutely no chances. They want everything they have, threw it out to secure the round. And going into round number 9, Lethal Esports once again find themselves in a decent enough spot to start. Orangutan not playing super aggressively, except for this position of Aziz.
Nice.
There was no supportive utility from his fellow Greek, so Lethal Esports could not have signaled or anticipated his arrival. And this man, he is an absolute monster, devouring them like they are just nothing but pieces of meat. Fast lane to cross back into the site, but this will give away his position. Does that stop Lethal Esports? No, it doesn't. Even Rossi's about to cross over. Comes out of his cyber cage and he's not looking in the right direction. Timing is just unfortunate. Aziz doesn't pull the trigger, but he alerts
One
Antidote.
enemy remaining.
Yeah, 6 bullets in the mag, and Aziz will find another one. Lucia goes down. Try to use the stun. Not going to get anything done. And Rossi gets cleaned up too. OG, they knew the more breathing room they will give to their opponent, the more they will start to capitalize. Aziz was just a free man. He was like Beast Unleashed inside that round. Just went all by himself, shut down 4 members all by himself. This man is on a solo mission here.
Exactly. And usually whenever a Neon pushes out of A main, you will always have either a fault line or some sort of a flash to accompany that aggression, but this time Aziz by himself. You could see that Lethal were not prepared for it because they had their knives in hand. If there was even a little flash thrown out by OG, they would have expected that Aziz would push, but then already he's in such a deep off angle. There's no way to deal with him and he gets a triple. Amazing stuff. And this time Aziz once again in a one and done position of sort. The fragment will push him out, but he just holds his ground like an absolute Chad.
Ow. He's just out aiming every single one of Lethal Esports' player.
Yeah, and he didn't even have the HP to back it up. He just solo peeked.
Yeah.
Tesseract did not even...
diff.
I thought Tesseract would peek alongside Aziz because they're both holding this angle, but now he finally peeks out. Oh, but the damage is done.
One enemy remaining.
Help him out a little bit.
Spike
Rockfield
down.
follows it up with an off shot, shuts down. Lucia's gonna be the last man left alive. Rockfield shorty in the head. Knows the man's quite close. Just waiting for him to reveal himself outside the smoke. Another smoke follows it up. Lucia really wants to go for that spike, but he doesn't know. There's 3 players just waiting for him to peek out, and as soon as he does, Aziz will shut him down. How is this man able to find so many frags all the time, back to back? This man is unstoppable so far.
Exactly, dude. Absolutely unstoppable. And it's not like they're setting him up for success or anything. Nope. It's just solo firepower. I thought Tesseract would be holding tower along with Aziz and they both would peek at the same time, but Tesseract never needed to. Aziz tanked a little bit of the fragment damage. Made Lethal Esports thinks, yeah, since nobody is peeking out, there must not be anybody behind that box. And then 1 second later, Aziz kills too. Nuts, man. Absolutely nuts.
Oops.
Oh! No. Oh, my God. Not a start they want. A great flash as well. Look at the amount of value they're getting from the breach utility. Another start followed up. And what's going on? Aziz, this man's utilities is on point. Oh, Antidote finds one more. What's going on? No other option left than to back out. And even then, the man gets caught away while he's trying to fade away. And Lethal Esports, they're just getting dismantled alive.
Last round.
Yeah.
Last round before the second half.
And this A main has been the bane of existence for Lethal Esports. In pistol round, they got pinched from this position. This time, they had Rofuel take first contact. Usually it's Aziz who takes point, but this time Rofuel waited with his op to fire that shot, and the moment they were all focused on him, the door swings open, Aziz pops their heads. These small changes, like overall, the strategy of Orangutan is more or less the same. Only the timings keep differing bit by bit.
Hi, I'm pissed.
Rolling Thunder invested.
Rolling Thunder utilized.
Another one thrown to just keep them at bay.
Shock it.
Yep, fast lane utilized 2 to try to make an entry inside the site, but OG, as I said, fire to fire all the time, just bringing the aggression to the table. If Lethal Esports are going to be aggressive, expect the players of OG as well to be aggressive.
Where is everyone
There were some
hiding?
counter utilities utilized, but now the neural theft's going to give every single player's position away. Every single player from the side of Lethal was near A main. And yeah, Tesseract now knows. They know it might just be an A hit coming soon. The Lethal, oh, they have something else cooking up here. And let them cook.
Now, will they wait and go towards the B side after having their information revealed, or will they hit the A side again? They've left Shivy over there as a distraction. And since Shivy has all his utility, as soon as he starts dumping it out, they will assume that it's him coming there with all his backup forces. Rofu gets a nasty surprise.
I can't
Hero
use
theft
that.
used once again, and this time Esports are in prime position to take the B side. There's absolutely nobody present over here. The smokes will block the vision for Tesseract, which means Lethal Esports can highway into the side. But the bigger problem is whether they will be able to get post plants or not. Rossi over peaks. There was no backup for him, and as this punishes him for it, neutralizes the man advantage. And Shivy again forced to fight alone. Marcel comes in to back him up, and Aziz left to his own devices. He's been a hero before. Can he do it again?
Oh! Nice one, Marcel. Shuts it down, the push. And oh my god, Lethal Esports. I mean, they were able to, like, barely squeeze these rounds away. But it's not proven anything else. It's not proven anything up till now. I do understand, yeah, they've got 3 rounds on the board, but it's not something that's going to make a huge statement inside this entire BO3 series. 3 rounds on the first half, and we'll be right back with the second half, ladies and gentlemen.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
Pressure. Pressure.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
And we're right back with the second half, ladies and gentlemen. 9-3 is the scoreline. I mean, there might be some superstitious people in the chat who would say that it's the curse, 9-3 curse. Maybe we'll see a Lethal Esports comeback, but we're going to let time speak for itself.
OG not speaking at all. They're dead silent. Yeah, now Kel'Thuzad can hear them fall back away from A main. That sound cue is going to be important. That information better be relayed to the rest of Lethal Esports. And Marcel's ready with a flash over here. At the same time, he's got backup from Tower in form of that Cypher, and he doesn't even get a time to use this flash. It's a contact play, and it's well prepared.
Enemy remaining.
Lethal Esports are fighting back. Aziz slides into Marcel's crosshair, but Levi just takes care of all the other rotators. Kel'Thuzad was on a massive flank and he failed, which gives Levi all the room in the world to go back towards A main. But he fakes going there, and he's retracing his steps back towards B.
Yeah, trades were happening back and forth in that one. A nice little fake coming in from the side of Levi, but it seems like Shivy's not going to fall prey to that fake. He does sense the push coming back in. RVK checking every single corner. He knows there might be somewhere Shivy sneaking by. But does he trust that the site's clear?
Left.
That's the main question that I'm asking myself. He will clear the entire site. He knows the site now is completely clear. Might just go for the plant soon enough. RVK is taking his time with this one.
Launching
He'll finally
smoke.
deploy the smokes. The amount of time he's taken, he should expect that the rotation should be on the way. Shivy will try to go really aggressive in this one, trying to be proactive with this clutch. And he knows he's got a classic. The right click can be so devastating. And he will attack him with the right click at the start and then follow it up with the single shots in the end. Shivy closes out the round. And this time, Lethal Esports win the second half pistol round. This is the first pistol round the entire Lethal Esports squad has won.
Yeah, this should hopefully give them enough momentum to start riding on the economic wave and start covering up the round deficit. One might say that the beginning of a 9-3 curse is marked with the victory of the pistol round, but hey, we've seen several times in the past how capable Orangutan is of stealing away all that momentum. And like I expected, Orangutan are going in for that force buy. They want to halt the lethal momentum in their tracks.
Aggressive burst near A here. And yeah, it is going to be AZ's just straight up slipping and gliding inside the Sands area. Got a little stun to deal with. Kel'Thuzad is trying his best to find some sort of little finds over there, but he's not going to be able to. And whoa, that's a great find from the side of OG. Rockville finds one, taking down near the ropes.
No!
And Kel'Thuzad even on the side falls to prey. What's going on? OG, they're able to find every single reply. That could be a huge mess up from Tesseract. But eventually gets taken down. And now look at AZ's. They've got the, of course, man advantage on the inside. This one, AZ's will just clean it up. He's like Beast Unleashed. If you want the round in the hand, just let AZ's do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, but at least Aziz was given a fair fight. He had two people peeking him at the same time. I feel so bad for the members of Lethal Esports because two of them died in the most silly ways possible. Kel'Thuzad caught reloading. You don't see that often. And then at the same time, you had Shivy, who was peacefully minding his business inside the smoke. He did not even make a single peek, but he got sprayed down. He ate every single bullet and he died without ever seeing an enemy. That is like the most unfortunate way to die. He didn't make a single mistake, but still he's punished. Oh, Tesseract caught in the open, the flash and the stun thrown at him, and Kel'Thuzad does not take any prisoners.
The proactive approach to steal a gun from the opponent's hands. Got their hands on it, and now maybe also the man advantage. And AZ's just catches him flying on the rope. Oh my god, this man is just always there. It's so hard to expect him on a single angle. He just can't be anywhere on the map. And AZ's is always bringing that element of surprise for the team of OG. Lethal Esports on the other hand, they've got two sheriffs in the hand and one shorty. And it seems like this time looking quite tough for them. Only one single sheriff left in the hand of Shivy. Can he do the flip around in this one? The chances are quite low, and raw fuel is a bird in the sky.
Whew, just when Lethal Esports think they're safe, they go all the way across towards the bridge. They catch the Cypher off guard. Tesseract has way too many people to deal with at the same time, and he dies. So that's a big win for Lethal. But then they have the cojones to take that same zipline, go across, when they have no idea where any player of Orangutan will be. Without ever clearing the main region, they go in. And of course they were going to lose two members on the zipline. They can't even fight back from there.
Yeah.
Aziz is having a wonderful game. Man's on 28 frags. On the verge of a 30 bomb. It's difficult to drop a 20 bomb in this game in the first place, but Man's close to 30. And I'm sure he will complete that before the game ends.
Absolutely monstrous performance from the side of AZ's, but one positive point for the side of Lethal can definitely be that they've got no command available. Used for retake from Marshall. Does not need to go down here. And AZ's, how is he able to pull it off? Turns around, 180, shuts down another man, gets 2 kills for himself, and the entire site control too. And OG just easily entering inside the site, no matter what. They're not even trying to stop Lethal Esports. They're just falling prey. They're getting dismantled, devoured. Call them whatever the hell you want.
Match point.
But the truth is in front of your eyes. Lethal Esports, they're just getting eaten alive.
Eaten alive. I mean, that sounds like a much more humane way to die as compared to whatever you saw right now. It's funny how Aziz is just so fearless. Man's already completed the 30. The nearest player to him is 13, and that's Tesseract. There's such a huge difference in the amount of frags that this man's been able to accumulate. And you saw how he had no flashes to help him out. He walked straight out of that cyber cage and killed 2 people without having any backup utility. Finally, Rossi is able to put his killing spree to an end, and it's about time that someone silences this man.
Kel'Thuzad, as always, being aggressive. A little change in the pace. This time, AZ's been shut down, so that means Lethal Esports might just have their confidence skyrocketed. As we do know, AZ's was the one who was putting the full stop all the time on Lethal Esports' aggression, but Tesseract goes down. Oh, this is not a man you want to lose inside defense, and Raw Fuel instantly with over aggression will shut down another one too. Kel'Thuzad with the flank. Can he find someone? If he does, things can be way too easy for them, but he doesn't. That's the problem. The problem now occurs once again. The man advantage is in the hands of OG, and look at this flank from the side of Tesseract. Closes another man down. 2v4 situation. Clearly outnumbered Lethal Esports.
They gotta do it. Raw Fuel, nothing to lose. All the advantage in the world, and he has no idea that Shivi was about to send in that ultimate. They're burning alive. Kel'Thuzad had one little glimmer of hope, and now it's taken away from him. And the world is throwing everything at him. Whether it's stuns, whether it's flashes.
One enemy remaining.
He's given this 1v1. He has the opportunity to clutch this out, but Antidote will say no. The captain with the final frag of the game puts Orangutan a win on the board. What a way to start the series. Orangutan with two very strong wins in both their maps, dominating Lethal Esports.
I mean, what a way to start the series and what a way to close the series as well. In a dominating fashion. We thought Fracture's not going to be one-sided, but they prove us wrong once again. Aggression to aggression is the counter. Aggression to aggression is the name for OG here. And they have proved that they have assembled a true team of warriors. And Crips, it seems like they're going to have quite a huge and a long journey ahead too, because OG, with the way they're playing, this is not it. They're going to have way much more tougher competition than this.
Yeah, I think OG did not even need to reveal most of their strats. They didn't even have to use up half their playbook. It's kind of nuts how Aziz was getting some of these frags, because you saw that one round where he was just about to enter the arcade region, about to enter the site. His teammates throw no flashes for him. Nobody peeks alongside him. He's inside a cyber cage. On paper, if someone peeks out of that, he should be having an advantage. Everyone who walks out of the smoke has an advantage, but not this man. Not him. He's built different.
Aziz, the way he was just throwing those 180s, taking down another man too, it just seemed like as soon as they saw the neon in front of them, they were just starting to panic because they were not hitting their shots onto Aziz. And the one plus point for Aziz there was that he had a Spectre, and we all know the running gun accuracy with the Spectre is just immaculate. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's not just the run and gun, and it's not just the fact that Aziz is going absolutely bonkers. It's also how well he's able to exploit the setup of Lethal Esports, because half the time they expect Aziz to rush in on the back of Breach Utility, but then half the time he's not doing that. He's just going in for contact peaks and just catching everybody on Lethal Esports off guard.
Exactly. But again, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from the side of English Desk. It's time for us to end the day. Thank you so much for everyone who stood by. Thank you so much for everyone who clicked on the English podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another intense matchup. Before now, we're going to take a leave. Have a good day.
Can't feel my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
The happiness in your voice. The art on your skin. And the energy from your surroundings. You need to be complete. Making dreams come true and memories happier. You're a dreamer, a doer, putting in the countless hours for that one victory. But to be you, you also need the beat in your step, the happiness in your voice, the art on your skin, and the energy from your surroundings. You need to be complete. Making dreams come true and memories happier.
Count blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going on track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, way up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going on track. Now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track,